Hello, good morning all. So in the last class, we were discussing about talent and knowledge management system, talent management system actually, we are talking about that. So what we were discussing in the talent and knowledge management? So we were discussing about we have discussed about the element and benefits and challenges of talent management, right? So we are done with us. Elements we have discussed already, and we have discussed the benefits and challenges of talent management, and we have understood what this talent management system means and what are what and all functions it why it is important in the any organization, right? So in today's class, we are going to talk about the components of talent management. Okay. So why components of talent management? If you understand the components of talent management, then it will lead us to understand the building blocks of talent management. So let us see what are the components of talent management system. Okay. So the talent management system, the first component is there are four components. In that, first one is assessment tools. Second one is multi-rater assessment. Third one is diagnostic tools. And the last fourth one is monitoring process. Okay. So components of talent management system are four. Those are assessment tools, multi-rater assessment, diagnostic tools, and monitoring process. So let us see what is assessment tool means. Okay. So assessment tool is the it is a method which complete and consistent with each other, like your HR process or a system, whatever your say for example recruitment process or a performance appraisal process, whichever the process or a system you have or a compensation system you have. So this will depend upon the assessment tool, right? So this what this assessment tool makes that it connects this system and the process, and it completes, and it makes the HR department to perform consistently, take decisions consistently. Okay. So say for example your compensation system and your recruitment process, if you integrate the connect these two things, so this assessment tool will performance appraisal process. Let us take an example. In company XYZ, you have a compensation system and a performance appraisal process. Okay, if you connect these two, okay, if you performance appraisal based on the appraisal, if your compensation like bonus incentives, if you are going to decide, so if you connect these two and integrate these two, and that assessment tools will help us to integrate these two and take the decisions regarding the anything related to your compensation system or your performance appraisal process. Okay. So what it is, just a second. So there are five assessment tools. Okay. So how these assessment tools, how to integrate all the decisions related to human resource capitalism, right? First one is competency assessment. Second one is performance appraisal. Third one is potential forecast. Fourth one is succession planning, and fifth one is career planning. Okay, so these are the five assessment tools which we use to integrate and connect the HR system and processes in the organization. So this competency assessment, performance appraisal, potential forecast, succession planning, and career planning, we will see in the forthcoming classes. So in the detail, we will study what are all this. Okay. So let us go to the second building block, that is, second what competent components of talent management system, that is multi-rater assessment, right? So the second component is multi-rater assessment. The name itself indicates that it is rater who are multi, means many rater will be assessing the performance of an employee. right? It is multi-rater assessments, means many raters are there in this. Like, so the best talent management system consider the input from the different angles, like how you do 360-degree appraisal in the performance appraisal system. It is something similar to that, right? Multi-rater assessment means it's not only your bosses or your manager, your immediate supervisor is assessing you. So there are many people who are assessing you, right? So that's why any talent management system who is considered to be best, that will, use the multi-rater assessment system. It is an important component. So why this multi-rater system is useful? It is useful in making the investment in your trade strategy. So if you remember in the last class, I was telling trade strategy depending upon the level of the employee, like whether they are super keepers or the pacers, like that. Depending on their level of efficiency, we decide about this trade, like training, reward, education, assignment, and development. Okay, so on particular which employee we have to invest among any these of things, whether we have to send him to the training or reward him for his best performance, or engage him in education, or you know give him some assignments which are challenging, or we have to send him for a development. So this kind of decision could be taken with the help of multi-rater assessment system. So how do we do this? Who are the people who do the multi-rater assessment system? So these decisions are like regarding whether we have to, like trade investments means whether we have to develop and provide assignment and move the employee in a in the upward ladder in the organization, right? So the first person who can be used in the multi-rater assessment system is employee himself. Okay, because employee is the right person to know about his what is his objective and why he has joined this organization, what is his career objective, and how this his career objective is aligned to an organizational objective, and it will help the organization to do a succession planning. Okay, so the employee in the organization, how it will happen means, first employee will assess himself. Okay, it is a practice which is it is not like old style where your manager or your immediate supervisor come and fill the forms like this employee is good in that, this, and they will send it your performance appraisal report to the HR department. It is nowhere like that now. So first, what they will do in any organization, like especially the new organization, what we say that they ask the employee to rate himself. Now in the government organization also, this kind of practices are following. First, employee has to assess himself or herself, right? They have to rate themselves. Okay, because they are the people who have performed and they know what they have performed. So that's why they have to rate themselves according to their performance. Okay, that might sometimes happens that they're overrating or underrating. Okay, that's why again that appraisal will go to a boss. So your immediate supervisor, it means. So he is a primary accessor. Now say for example you have given three skills like communication skill, a team worker, and a target achiever. For these three skills you have given all 5 out of 5. Okay, but your supervisor or your immediate supervisor, or who may call as boss, would know that whether you are eligible to get 5 out of 5, or some employer might have given 3 out of 5. So the boss will again assess your performance, and he will rate you according to your performance, because he will be closely associated with the employees. He'll be watching over the employees, and by observation or by performance assessment, he would rate you accordingly, right? So that boss, after employee he self assess himself, the boss will assess the immediate boss or immediate supervisor. He will assess, say for example, if you're a assistant in a team and your team lead is your immediate boss, right? So now boss. Like say you're an assistant in a team, your team lead is your boss, your team lead's boss would be an assistant manager or a manager, right? So say for example, let us skip the assistant management level. I will take the manager, right? So the employee will assess himself. Next, boss will assess, like his team lead will assess. Now his team lead's boss, that is the manager, will assess the employee. Okay. So now you have given rating to yourself. Your boss has changed or kept the rating if it is suitable to your performance, and now boss's boss will rate you by the different checking by verifying your different records or discussing with your boss or by observation by himself. So your manager, the manager of the team will also assess the in your performance. Now the last one is boss's peer group. Okay, like boss is who? Your team lead. So team leads peer group means the people who are of the same in the same working in the same position, like different team leads in an organization. In a project there will be 10 teams, for example. So 10 team leaders would be a boss's peer group, right? So why it is done? Because they'll be handling different projects and different assignment. Team wise the project will be different and the assignments are different. So according to the potential of the assignments and the potential of the project, if it is a similar project or if it is similar assignment, if they are handling, if a two team leads are handling same kind of assignment, then they can discuss one among themselves, like what kind of performance is accepted or rejected from an employee. So what could be the ratings? So these are the four different levels of multi-rater assessment, you can say. First is employee, then your immediate boss, then boss's immediate boss, then the boss's peer group. Like employees, so for example, assistant's immediate supervisor or immediate boss is a team lead boss is a manager. Then the different team leads who are handling similar kind of projects, who can give an inputs for the performance appraisal. Okay, this is about multi-rater assessment system. Next one is diagnostic tool. What a diagnostic tools means? Diagnostic tools are these are kind of devices, how the doctor uses the devices to diagnose something. Like in human resource practices also, they use the devices. So which are those devices? Means that might be a competency, practices of HR related activities or process. Okay, these diagnostic tools which captures a critical and quantifiable insights about HR practices. Okay? So how doctor will analyze critically and he interpret things, what could be here the disease, like that. In the HR practices also, HR practices about HR practices, process and competency, the diagnostic tools will help us analyze critically and give a quantifiable insights about what practices we have decided and how they are functioning in a day-to-day activities, in a day-to-day business activities, how it is applicable. And this will be helpful in convert the assessment, like in the previous slide how we are discussing about the assessment, like those converting those assessment into a how we can applicable those assessment tools, and based on which we can take the some decisions related to talent management system, like trend investments, like that. Okay, so now these tools help to identify the following things, which are super keeper reservoirs. Okay, so super keepers are the good performers. Like in the last class we were discussing, there are different levels of employee performance. So we'll call some of them as a super keepers, who who outperform the job, who produces more than standard. Okay, who work for more than a production hour is really good, and they are outperforming. They're excellent, more than excellent. So for them we call as a super keepers. So these super keepers, we maintain the reservoirs, right? How we maintain the reserve in the financial management reserve, we maintain out of profit. Then we, after maintaining the reserve, we issue the dividends to our shareholders. Similarly, we have to keep the reserve of your super keepers because they are the best people who you could get, right? So that's why we have to maintain them. We have to retain in our organization, like with sustainability we are saying, right? There for them it is very important, super keepers. Next, key position backups. How it will help for key position backups? Say, key positions are somebody who's very important to your organization, like your executives, managers, higher level managers, vice presidents, or so the every key position should have at least one backup at the keeper level. Okay, like in a we have to have a reservoir in a as a super keeper, as a one reservoir for one position. Okay, if in our organization one vice president sales is there, means for him we have to have a super keeper reservoir, right? So that's what they say. Super keeper reservoir means for one sales vice president there will be a one replacement if that key position get vacant. That is what they are saying, that one reservoir should be there, that one backup, key position backup as a reservoir. Next one is surpluses. Surplus means you have say for example, same example, one vice president sale, you have more than one super keepers as a reservoir. That is surplus. You should have one, but if you have more than one super keeper performer, means you have a surplus in your organization. Okay, next one is voids. Voids with the same position in certain organization, vice president still does not have any replacements or any super keeper there. So when of the position without qualified backup, there is no backup. There are no people who could fill up if the vice president says leave the organization or he quit the organization or die or retire. So there are no people available in the organization. That situation is called as void situation, right? Next one is blockage. Blockage is non-promotable incumbents standing in the path of one or more high potential or promotable employees. There are people in our organization, but these people are ready to fill the position, but they are not competent. They don't have a high potential or promotable employee. So non-promotable incumbents means there are people in the organization, but they cannot, take up the they are not in a high potential position, or we cannot promote them. But there are people who are standing in the line that I could take the vice president position. So these are called as blockages, right? So blockages cannot be, fulfilled for the key positions, because there might be a people who are standing in the queue, but they are not potential people, or they are not the like performers like super keepers. Okay. Next one is problem employees. So these employees are not at all meeting the standard expected out of them. So these are the problem employees, right? They are not performing well at all. So these are the problem employees. So assessment tools will help, diagnostic tools will help us in identifying the following people. Super keepers who are the good performance, not good performance. They are the best performers in the organization. We have to have a reservoir of these people. Why we have to have reserve these people? Because whenever the key position will be vacant, that time at least one backup would be there to take up that position. Okay, when you have more than one backup in your organization for a key position, that situation is called as surplus situation. That is good. Okay, but when you don't have any people who are when your key position will be vacant, but there are no people available in the organization to fill up that position, that situation is called as a void situation. There are many people who are ready to fill up the key position, but they are not potential candidate. They are not potential employees to fill up the key position. So they are not super keepers, but they are ready to fill up the position, means that is a blockage in the process, right? Next one is problem employees who would not at all perform well, and we have to decide investing them in a more of like training or taking some, negative rewards or something like that. Okay, so this is about uh, diagnostic tool. The last one is in the component. Last thing is monitoring process. Okay, so monitoring process will help organization to, it's just like your controlling process or a performance evaluation, you might say. So it is help us to check the quality of the production of by employee, not the product I'm talking about here. Whatever you are talking about here is related to human being, human resource, right? So the quality of the performance and the timeliness of the performance, and whether the credibility of the responsibility, whether he's taking the responsibility or we can trust that employee for the particular job or not, right? These are the monitoring measures. One is quality, another is timeliness, and another one is credibility. Three things which always would be evaluated by any for the any employee by any organization, right? These are the performance key areas, like quality of his production, timeliness of his production, and credibility of the employee towards his job role and responsibility. So this is we will do in a monitoring process. It is like controlling or evaluation process, to continue the to keep the components in the position, right? So this is so this is about the components of talent management system which we're discussing. Those are four, that is assessment tools, multi-rater assessment thing, where diagnostic tools is third one, and the monitoring process. Four important things which we have discussed today. So to be brief, assessment tools would help us in, kind of integrating the HR system and processes. Those are these five assessment tools, which are also called as a building blocks of talent management system. We will be discussing this in the next class. Okay, next one is multi-rater assessment. In this multi-rater assessment, an employee himself will assess him, like different level of assessment will happen about his job and his performance, starting from employee to his boss and his boss's boss and his boss peer group, right? I've given the example here also. Then diagnostic tools are the which will help us, to analyze critically and getting the quantifiable insight about different things, the different diagnostic things which could be critically evaluate, and we can, identify them and we can solve the problem. Next, those are the superkeeper reservoir. You have to have a superkeeper reservoir. Then the key position backups, surplus, voids, blockage, and problem employees. Then comes the monitoring process, which is like you have to monitor for the quality of a performance, timeliness of a performance, and credibility of employee. Okay, this is about the components of talent management system. This is all about today's class. I think I feel that you are following me, and thank you for listening to me.